Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Worthy Worth It and Priceless. I am your host, Tammy Simmons, and this podcast episode is titled You Don't Need All of That. And so recently I was thinking about, or I was basically setting up because I wanted to start going back to doing video podcasts and things like that. And so I wanted my daughter to help me like with the microphones and all that other stuff. And so um, I was getting everything together. So I started first with a camera and an actual like mirrorless camera. I think it's a Panasonic G7. And so anyway, I'm getting everything together. Anything that could go wrong did actually go wrong. I'm trying to look for the ring light, all this other stuff, get cords, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, I set it up so that I can do it on my phone and, see how that would work as well. And so, like I said, I was recording my daughter. So, I had her talk or do something or whatever, just so I can test everything out. And when I was all said and done, I asked her, I said, Vea, which setup did you like better? She said, the camera. I said, are you sure? Did you know what I mean? Which one? I wanted to make sure. And she said, "No, mommy, I like the camera better." Or, l- you know, give or take those words. But either way, basically, that's what she was saying. She wanted the camera. And in a way, I don't want to say I felt defeated, but it's like, dang, I did all of this work and all I needed was the camera. And it was so funny because I had a conversation earlier with someone and we were talking about content and stuff and they were saying, for the most part, all you need is a camera and all this other stuff. And but I still, like as you know, like if you pay for all this other stuff, it's like, hey, I want to utilize it, I want to use it and all this. And it was at that moment, like all that together, I realized that all I needed was maybe a camera. I didn't need all the extra stuff. And how we're living in life right now, it's like if God really gives you something, you may not have the time to set up a camera, set up backlights, set up ring lights, and try to find these cords and stuff. You have to record a lot of times in the moment. And so that is the encouragement that I want to give to you. Yours may not be about you, doing videos or content or something. But sometimes even in life, whatever you're doing, sometimes you think that you have to have everything right. You have to have the big expensive equipment and to just get started. And that's not necessary. That may not be necessary for what you need to do. For some of us, all you need to do is just start. You know what I mean? You already have the passion. So all you have to do is just take it to the next level. And sometimes like we stop the dream because we're like, or I'm not prepared. I don't have the sewing machine or I don't have this, I don't have that. And then what those become is excuses. Now when you're going to work, you're trying to save up to have this, but you could actually just get started with what you have. God will bless the rest. I remember one time, well, when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was supposed to have a baby shower. That fell through and all this other stuff. And so I'm trying to get everything and buy everything and put it on layaway or whatever, to make sure that she had everything. And then I think maybe like a week before I was supposed to give birth or whatever, my ex is one of his friends and his girlfriend, they came over with all of the baby stuff. We didn't have to get anything. And so what I'm saying is a lot of times you're thinking that you have to go buy this and do that. And sometimes if you just start the process, God will bless the rest. He will bless somebody to come into your life and just give you what you need. Or you'll even realize that you don't, like, once again, you don't need all of that. But don't think that God hasn't put something on your heart to do that he won't even provide the provisions for it to come true. He will do that for you. I'm realizing a lot of this rhymes, but you get what I mean. God isn't going to leave you out there. All you have to do is start. And it's a lot of times where we just talk ourselves out of it. I can't do this because I don't have that. No, start now. Start today with what you have. That's how faith works. If you had it all together and all that, then you wouldn't need God. But we do. So continue on your journey. Start today with what you have. It is more than enough. Trust me. So with that being said, um, always know that you have worth and you have value. And you're always worthy, worth it, and priceless. If you feel led, go to YouTube, and I changed the name again. So it is Worthy Worth It Priceless. Um, I was able, it takes a while to change everything back. So I was able to change it. So everything is Worthy Worth It Priceless. Even on social media platforms, if you want to see me more, I usually do videos a little bit more. So, but yeah, on all social media platforms, it's still under Worthy Worth It Priceless. So until next time, bye.